Nacho World. Choose from our breakfast menu that includes omelets, waffle, pancake, French toast, hash brown, chicken and waffle, bagel with cream cheese, your choice of cooked eggs with fresh fruits included, free coffee. Kids breakfast menu is only $3.99, grilled cheese sandwich, etc. Our lunch menu entails a variety of meat and seafood nachos, 5 different dips, and a wide selection of toppings to build your own nachos. Also available our popular nacho pizza, a variety of burgers, free Wi-Fi. Nacho World, 2622 Mercy Lane, parallel to Belize Elementary Gym. Opening hours Monday to Saturday 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sundays 12 noon to 9 p.m. Call us at 203-2121 for
I'm joined by Van Gill, the regular co-host, and our Tuesday, Thursday special co-host, the editor of the Belize Times, Mr. Mike Redon. Gentlemen, good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Marsh.
And before you get into it, just let me remind the folks that we will keep the phone lines closed until after 8 o'clock. So we will be able to get in as much, right, gentlemen? Before you all came in, before there were shootings in Belize City. 5 people were injured, including a police officer and a BDF soldier. Of course, there was the matter of a young man who wound up dead and is alleged to have been killed in Belmopan. Then there was a drowning as well over the weekend, and at least 2 road traffic fatalities. And that's what we know so far.
Yeah.
That is what we've known so far. And then today commence week 2 of the strike for the teachers. The Belize Chamber of Commerce is making some demands on the government and threatening a one-day shutdown of businesses. So this week definitely is going to be starting just the way we ended up last week. Again, good morning, gentlemen.
Marsh, what? It's overwhelming because anybody can tell you I'm a Facebook addict. And when you go on Facebook, especially after a weekend like this weekend, and you see all the negativity, not only the crime or the traffic accidents, but it's just a lot of negativity, a lot of frustration. You have the matter with the teachers, you have the matter with, it's just a lot to take in. But it gives you an idea of
instability.
How things are in Belize.
Instability, great instability as it is.
As simple as that. You can gauge the emotions of the people from what you see on Facebook.
And the results of those things weekend, as the among the activities weekend is kind of a reflection of what is happening across the country.
And I mean, maybe we could take this opportunity to send out condolences to those who lost loved ones by any means, whether violent or accidental.
Yeah, both of the young men from Belmopan, the one who was allegedly killed, we want to express our condolences to his family, and to the young man, the student from UB that unfortunately drowned in the Riviera area as well in Belmopan. Heartfelt condolences to both families. And everybody else. There were, as I said, at least 2. I think in out west, the gentleman who was knocked down and killed is a father of 6. That is a tremendous, in Unitedville. That's a tremendous loss to his family.
Yeah. The young man who was killed in Belmopan was buried at 10 a.m., 10 p.m. Sunday night in Democracia.
Yes. Well, he was in a state of decomposition.
Unfortunately, and I'm not saying unfortunately because I didn't want to be there. Unfortunately, I was present, Marsh.
When they discovered?
No. At the funeral, yeah. With my wife, who's a close friend of the young man Clark, who lost his life. The autopsy did reveal that he died of blunt trauma to the head. So it is murder. Right?
It is. The sister was making a passionate plea to the community if anybody know anything to contact the family or the police, to contact the police. The circumstances, the way it was read on the news, he was out with some friends, another person picked him up, took him someplace else, and then that was the last they've heard of him. I guess the police should be able to crack that investigation, I think, fairly easy. I hope, but I hope every life that is lost is one way too many. You know, Mike, I used to do a fair enough job of tracking the number of murders, but I've completely lost track of it. I can tell you though that we are near 100, if not 100 already.
Well, the dynamic changed because one time it was easier to track because most of it happened in Belize City.
Yeah.
You know, Belize City was the hotspot. A lot of it was gang related, but now it's all over the place.
It's all over the place.
I think Belmopan might very well be leading the pack. The Kaya district.
Between Belmopan and Rowan Creek, that area.
Really. And I just wanted to say one thing, Marsh, and it might sound strange coming from me, but I was telling somebody over the weekend that there are too many bars in Belmopan.
Yeah.
Seriously, whoa. I know it sounds strange coming from me, but everywhere you turn, there's another bar opening, and a lot of the murders that are happening these days are alcohol related.
I think you're onto a good point, Mike, and I had that written down here that in Belize City, the murders are gang related or issues like that, and most of them have to do with
old beef,
oil, whatever. But in Belmopan and in the surrounding areas, it's more you go out party, alcohol, and you get into altercation and something stupid. So I agree with you. I think many of these are preventable. I was listening the other day to the officer in charge of San Ignacio when there was that murder in Spanish Lookout, the last, at the same bar.
Same bar.
And he made a point that the liquor license says that these bars need security guard at these nightclubs. And if you look at the U.S., the clubs are responsible to an extent for security within their confine, right?
I've always said
there's many things that I think that the authorities can do.
There's no will, because I remember being in the States many years ago, and when you go to the Club Marsh, right outside the club, 2 police vehicles park, and they stay there all night with the lights flashing. So you know if you go in that club and drink, you have to come out and walk that gauntlet.
There's deterrent there.
Yeah, but then Chester now got no vehicle, because only got 2 parts outside, Mike. So if Chester...
True, reality.
You know how much, well, in a lot of clubs indeed.
The reality. But there needs to be some move to fix what is happening.
When you go clubbing in Belize, the bartender sell your drink to a drop.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Or drop asleep.
Right? And they, I mean, while, you know, you could say one person to get drunk and you should have a responsibility to tell him that's enough. I'm not selling you no more, but in Belize it doesn't work that way. It is on, once you got money, you could...
Maybe we not, you know...
So there are many things I believe that need to be enforced to restrict...
You know what the need for do, Van? Maybe we need to...
something like that.
7:30 and we do fair break, but you guys know, you guys are between a rock and a hard place, because...
Not me,
you got the restaurant's name, but if the restaurant continue to operate the same way, then you're endangering people or patrons who goes to the restaurant. We are picking that up.
Not Belmopan people.
We are picking up. We are picking it up.
Well, us people who commute too. Check it with us, man.
Let's pick it up on the other side of the break now. We'll take a break and come back.
Yesterday is suffering from all that wasteful spending. Because of the UDP, Belize is now in a recession. In the first quarter of 2016, the economic
When my clients come to me to capture their most intimate memories, they trust that my vision and hard work will reflect those special moments that are once in a lifetime. They trust to relive those moments through my images for a lifetime to come. That's why I trust Smart's new broadband unlimited internet service. Internet is no longer free.
Man, Michael, this is the greatest heist in the history of Belize.
Every time it spring up, right song, I want to talk about.
But in the UDP,
corruption has reared its ugly head again and again and again. In the audit report, there are a long lists of UDP ministers who interfered in the nationality process, including Senior Minister Erwin Contreras, Pablo Marin, John Strickleen, Godwin House. Pages and pages and pages chronicling UDP corruption.
Of course there is corruption in government. There has always been corruption in government. There will always be corruption in government.
No more UDP corruption.
Kids having babies nowadays. Oh God, tell me if you're feeling no gravity in this impoverished society. Double standard without no equity. And tell me if you're happy how you're living it now.
Remember that it's a work day. You got to get back to work.
People
Here we feel that our senator representative should sit on that. We don't only want that. We want you to install a integrity commission right away.
The executive of the chamber was quite willing to sit down in closed door sessions with the Prime Minister.
Totally agree. Concur.
And agree to this UNCAC.
Concur.
Now, how could they agree to something which is just two parties, the chamber and the government?
And the government.
And then you have the unions, you have the opposition should be a part of that. Because
that the BPP.
That is accurate. When nothing else will happen, they were flagging that.
I remember going to Belmopan and Bobby Lopez was standing there with this placard about signing
the convention. But where are they now?
Yes.
I know they empathize with them.
No, I know that.
I think what Van was saying is that, you know what?
They're codified and enacted for those things to really start to take effect. So there is a full process. If there is any inclination to sign that and appears to want to stamp out corruption, then adhere to our domestic anti-corruption law. Let us establish the Integrity Commission, which comes under the Prevention of Corruption in Public Life Act, which is our domestic anti-corruption law.
You see why it is important
Put that in place.
That the opposition and other social partners are included in this commission right now, Marshall. You heard what he said? We have to fix domestic laws. UDP can't fix them domestic laws by themselves.
So everything else is just a joke. It is 15 minutes away from 8 o'clock, folks. If you have to get the work,
this government is not serious about stamping.
Not at all. No.
Move. Listen to him carefully. They are supporting the stance taken by the teachers.
I jacket. So this move
standards. I agree with you. Look, make the man goddamn right, yo.
Well, let us look at.
Then wait, one more thing, man. Then when Luke said that thing Friday, we borrowed though. Make Patrick and Lee Cox set up. And write one quarrel some letter. Why Barrow couldn't meet with Luke Saturday? Mike? Why Dean Barrow couldn't write Luke Palacio and say make we meet Saturday? Or meet Sunday? Or meet Monday? What was so what and this just said Mr. Palacio, I'm happy to hear we want to make sit down and discuss the issue. But he want to beat around the bush and quarrel. Will be achieved.
It's an opportunity for the senator may not go either. So what they do? Have one 3-man committee?
That's the point I'm making.
That won't go.
And they do not concede to Dean Barrow and Rock.
So you think they should stay with the
I believe that as what happened with the public, I heard Senator Lizarraga mention it on the show with Yaya on Sunday, that the UDP attempted this already with the Public Accounts Committee with John Saldivar. When they had their own, set up their own bogus Public Accounts Committee.
And you heard what he said?
And hear what, yes.
You heard what he said? That the report, up to now, nobody have gotten any evidence of any report.
The chamber and the social partners went along with John. And
I feel like it's having an economic effect. And if the chamber shut down for one...
Yes, economic contracted by 1 point...
From spending quality time with loved ones to watching movies online. Now, here's one more to add to your list. Introducing Super...
Also available, our popular
minor and major eye surgeries, NHI schemes, and eyeglasses including progressive and bifocals transition lenses. He accepts insurance policies. Packages specials are always available.
We are one community. When violence strikes one, many more are affected.
And that kind of thing, when I retaliate back with my sister, we tell him, he gonna make a report here, his stepdaughter, I mean, like the lady or who she, and now they still send threat to arrest my sister. Now I come today from Mr. Blackett that they have to go arrest my sister. We don't have a problem with that because we are a liar. But why Mr. Julip did for a genie?
But the media need to question Dean Barrow because he has changed his doctrine. That was not what he came to power with. He has reversed his position and his party's position. Good morning. Read this to you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Brother Sam.
I believe that what will happen.
One thing he puts up to stop us. Oh, you can't say nothing because this is the FC and place those bodies under the control of the social partners. You see where his foundation is going, Marsh? The first one have to do with the Senate. They appoint independent and qualified persons in the position of Ombudsman, Contractor General, Auditor General, and Director of Public Prosecution. Again, another pillar.
Yeah. You see, now we can can contact the people at CCV. You see, and so we can try to address that. Thanks very much for the information, sir. And we apologize for the technical glitch this morning. We don't want anybody to miss out. So at least Lord Barrow want to defer the salary adjustment for a year, defer the loan payment for a month.
Good morning.
Morning, Brother Marshall.
Good morning. Position. I went to the chamber with a couple of days because the chamber, they're to the public accounts to include the
that we have gone past.
Dr. Carla Barnett,
whose name is in the report also.
Fair enough, but that's all right. That is.
No, that's important.
Yes,
she is mentioned in the audit, and she was appointed by Dean Barrow to the committee.
Yeah, but that's
serious words and politics.
Well, in that case, let me
come on.
Go ahead.
Call the Crime Stoppers Belize hotline 0800-92.
People tell me how you're living, and tell me if you're happy how you're living now. What super feature and I consumated. I want the people tell me.
Welcome back. It's no.
Without an invitation to, I think that moves has to be made for inclusion of any local person or organization to become party thereof because of the profits deriving therefrom. You cannot have one section of PG, Orange Walk, wherever, at the exclusion of Belizeans who have been replaced, systematically replaced by another entity that has the option to leave whenever things go south. And so I am making this vague plea without making any specific identification that is an issue that has to be looked at. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure what Toast was really talking about. But
Marsh, while the country has been paralyzed, all the brains, all the energy of the government has been fighting the teachers over the past few weeks, fighting the opposition, the politics in blocking the investigation, because the government is totally distracted.
But I don't see why that should paralyze.
Good morning.
Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is... And the future of this country for me are the youth. And so that what is and that after the Governor General to sign on. Right? That is with regards to the 13th Senator. With regards to the convention and corruption that can be signed today, and we can, today, not tomorrow, right today, this very day, if the appropriate persons decide that this is the way to go. And the appropriate person to do that is the word. And I say that Pastor Rock should go because he is not with the churches as far as I'm concerned. He is with Langsworth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, sure. Yes, Marsh. I believe that from the time the Mason thing broke, this government has been in damage control. It has been protecting itself. Every cabinet meeting has not been about moving this country forward. It's not been about the economy. It's not been about jobs. It's not been about crime. It's been about saving the government. And so I think that we are in an incompetent government. Is even worse now that they're not governing this country. Right? And why I'm saying that is,
I don't know what may happen. They must see me broke up the National Assembly.
The UDP does have division, Marsha, but
those negative remarks that he made about our teachers.
Yeah.
We have to have a demonstration against him. Man. We should have to picket the office. We got two officers. You got one officer, but he's sitting, not true?
Yes.
One Royal House.
We tend to lose. So we tend to lose piece of the sea.
Kind of ridiculous thing that
all of the people in the cabinet.
Our Zika numbers. I brought this up, this incompetence, because for sure that there are other issues. And Marshall, right now, the health issue.
I want to make a point because you were talking about this government, the members of the cabinet. But Van, the division within the UDP is causing this country to not be governed. No governance is taking place.
Yeah,
Go ahead, sorry.
The division about a punk in a UDP. Because they do not want to speak out. They want to tell other man how they feel. I bet with Barrow. I know they with Barrow. Not even on Facebook, then, right? I buy, you borrow this, borrow that. But they not dare speak out. And that I got a problem with.
It's what corruption causes.
Marshall, Zika, right? Are Zika numbers misleading? Tests for Belize, I'm taking excerpts from Amandala, are conducted at the Caribbean Public Health Agency, a Caribbean agency based in Trinidad, right? For example, Belize has a quota of 5 tests per week. You hear that? 5 tests per week. The reported figures are often laboratory confirmed positive cases. These cases do not represent everybody who has been infected. The figures are only what is described as tip of the iceberg. In the context of the Zika outbreak, the reported cases are the persons who have been infected with Zika and were symptomatic and then sought medical attention. They were the ones who were eligible for testing and then got tested. You even get a smell of it, of the chemicals. I mean, just driving around and spraying air and shh out of the truck, not counting, the mosquito not listen to that and run because they hear the shh. It's actually the chemicals, man.
I mean, here so it is. The chemical. You know,
Marshall, stop the man. Stop the man for only.
And say no cause harm to human.
And make we spend only 2 minutes to spray out for we neighborhood.
But some people feel like they dilute the chemical one.
Marshall, in Belize, with everything is done just for the optics of it, and in this case, the sound. Not even the optics and the smell, just the sound. They make air to come out of water or something, but it's, I mean, let's get real, but Marshall, we should be complaining. Why the Ministry of Health not stop spray? This is now a Zika outbreak. You see a helicopter, then 2 helicopters when anybody get. You see the rule the payment is in US, so they have. No, you could be
not
the media. Just because Dean Barrowash show the
truly in solidarity with what they do. This, at the end of the day, is going to be beneficial to all of us. And don't make no ghost fool you and tell you that who are the ones who are losing and suffering that are the children. These are the most important lesson the children will ever learn. I take this last call.
Good morning.
Rule.